Another clearance rack special? My sister Emma smirked, eyeing my simple black dress as I sat down for our weekly family dinner. Her own outfit probably cost more than a car. I touched my smartwatch discreetly, checking the pre-market trading notifications. Everything was aligned perfectly. Some of us have to be practical, Mom said with fake sympathy, adjusting her tennis bracelet. Not everyone can afford designer labels. If they only knew what my tech startup was about to do to the market. Speaking of success, Dad cleared his throat. Emma's hedge fund just closed another record quarter. Top performance in the industry. My watch vibrated silently. 2 minutes to market open. And what are you doing these days? Emma asked, cutting into her Wagyu beef. Still playing with your little tech company? I checked the final alerts. Something like that. Must be hard, she continued, watching real success while you struggle. I could probably find you an entry-level position at my firm. The dining room's massive TV, always tuned to financial news, droned in the background. 1 minute to open. That's thoughtful of you, I said quietly. Well, someone has to help you. Emma gestured at my outfit. Clearly you can't even buy proper clothes. My watch beeped softly. Market open. The TV anchor's voice suddenly cut through. Breaking news. Tech startup Mindframe goes public in historic IPO. Trading opens at. Emma's fork clattered to her plate. $15 billion market cap, the anchor continued. Making founder and CEO Sarah Chin one of the youngest tech billionaires. Dad's new Rolex suddenly looked very small. That's. Mom's voice trailed off. Hi company, I said calmly, pulling up the trading data on my watch. The one you called little. Emma was frantically checking her phone. This isn't, you can't. Be worth more than your entire hedge fund? I raised an eyebrow. The market disagrees. The TV continued. Mindframe's revolutionary AI platform has become the industry standard, with every major tech company now dependent on their technology. Dependent. Dad whispered. Including Emma's firm, I nodded. Those record quarters you're so proud of? They were only possible because of my AI systems. My watch chimed with another alert. I glanced at the update. Interesting, I murmured. We just added another billion in market cap. Seems the market likes what we built. Built. Emma's voice cracked. While you were wearing clearance rack clothes? Success isn't about what you wear, I said, standing. It's about what you create. My phone buzzed. Excuse me, I said, checking the message. The board needs me for the opening bell ceremony. Board. Mom clutched her pearls. Of a $15 billion company. 16 now actually, I corrected, watching the numbers climb. The market's been open for 5 minutes. Emma stared at her designer outfit, then at my simple dress. All this time. While you were mocking my clothes? I smiled slightly. I was building something bigger than your entire concept of success. Dad found his voice. But you never said. You never asked, I replied. Too busy bragging about Emma's hedge fund to notice what your other daughter was creating. The TV anchor's voice filled the silence. Mindframe's IPO is being called the most successful tech offering of the year with major investors. Major investors, Emma repeated weakly. Like my firm. Who just made me even richer, I nodded. Irony has a sense of humor, doesn't it? My watch chimed again. Another market alert. Time for the board meeting, I said, gathering my things. The markets wait for no one, not even family dinner. I paused at the door, looking back at their shocked faces. Oh, and Emma? This clearance rack dress? It's actually couture. I just don't feel the need to broadcast my success. I left them sitting there, Mom frozen with her wine glass halfway to her lips, Dad staring at his suddenly inadequate Rolex, and Emma realizing her hedge fund's record performance had been built on her struggling sister's technology. This has to be some mistake, Emma was saying as I took a video call in their home office. She frantically scrolled through financial news on her phone. 16 billion. 17 billion. Miss Chin, my CFO's hologram materialized in the air. The market response is unprecedented. Major institutions are fighting for position. Including my sister's hedge fund, I believe, I noted, watching Emma's face pale further. The office's TV screen flashed with another update. Mindframe shares surge 40% in first hour of trading. Market cap now approaching 20 billion. 20 billion, Dad whispered from the doorway. From your little tech company. Amazing what you can build while people underestimate you, I said, expanding the holographic display to show global trading activity. Though 20 billion is just the beginning. Emma stood shakily. Our fund's AI systems, our entire trading platform, runs on my technology, I confirmed. That record quarter you bragged about? Powered by the sister you thought needed career advice. My watch chimed with another market alert. The hologram updated automatically. Another 3 billion in market cap, my CFO reported. The institutional buyers are calling it revolutionary. Mom appeared behind Dad, still clutching her wine glass. 3 billion, just like that? Just like that, I nodded. The market rewards innovation, not designer labels. The financial news kept streaming. Mindframe CEO Sarah Chin joins exclusive club of self-made tech billionaires. Sources say personal net worth now exceeds 14 billion. 14 billion? Emma's voice cracked. While wearing off-the-rack clothes. Success isn't about appearance, I said, approving another series of trades. It's about substance. Something your hedge fund might want to learn about. Dad stepped into the office, his eyes fixed on the trading data. All this time, while we were mocking my lifestyle choices? I raised an eyebrow. I was building something that just made your investment portfolio look like pocket change. My phone buzzed with urgent messages. The hologram shifted to show global market reactions. Asian markets are preparing for our debut, my CFO reported. Expectations are unprecedented. Emma sank into a chair, her designer outfit suddenly looking like a costume. Our firm's entire strategy, our performance, was built on my AI, I completed her thought. Every trade, every analysis, every success you claimed, all powered by your struggling sister's technology. The office door opened as my executive team arrived, tablets and projections ready. The next phase is prepared, Ms. Chin, my CEO announced. Shall we proceed with global expansion? Mom's wine glass trembled. Global. Mindframe's technology is already global, I explained, pulling up a world map dotted with our installations. While you were counting designer labels, I was counting data centers. Emma was still staring at the market data. 23 billion now. 24. The day's still young, I said, reviewing expansion plans. Wait until the Asian markets see what we've built. Dad found his voice again. Your clothes, your apartment. Our choices, I repeated. I choose substance over show. Results over appearance. I glanced at Emma. Real success over borrowed glory. My watch alerted with another milestone. The hologram pulsed with new data. 25 billion market cap, my CFO announced. And climbing. 25. Emma whispered, her hedge fund success suddenly feeling very small. About that entry-level position you offered, I smiled slightly. I think I'll pass. Though if your fund wants to continue using my AI, we should discuss licensing fees. The color drained from her face. Licensing? Did you think you got our technology for free? I raised an eyebrow. Check your firm's expenses. That 9-figure annual payment? It's been going to my little tech company. Dad's legs seemed to weaken. 9 figures. Annually, I confirmed. Though given today's valuation we might need to adjust the pricing. My phone chimed with another urgent alert. Excuse me, I said, checking the message. The global markets await. I stood straightening my cheap dress. Family, it's been illuminating. Emma, have your fund's legal team contact us about the new licensing terms. Mom, Dad, thanks for all the career advice. It made today so much more satisfying. I paused at the door, looking back at their shocked faces illuminated by the glow of my company's soaring stock price. Oh, and about my clothes? I gestured to my simple outfit. This dress cost more than Dad's Rolex. I just don't need everyone to know it. As I left, I heard Emma's voice, small and uncertain. Our whole fund, running on her technology. The office's multiple screens continued displaying my company's unstoppable ascent. Each update made Emma sink further into her chair. Your hedge fund's morning trades, I noted, glancing at a secondary display. Just earned my company another $8 million in licensing fees. $8 million. Dad's voice was faint. Before lunch. Your sister's firm is one of our smaller clients, I explained, pulling up the global client list. The major investment banks pay considerably more. Emma's head snapped up. Smaller clients? We're one of the top funds in a very small pond, I completed her thought. While you were bragging about millions, I was building systems that move billions. My CFO's hologram updated with fresh data. Ms. Chin, Warren Buffett's office is requesting a meeting. And Goldman Sachs wants to increase their AI deployment. Mom grabbed the doorframe for support. Warren Buffett? One of many interested parties, I said, scanning the requests. Though I prefer meeting with actual innovators rather than just investors. The TV anchor's voice cut through again. Mindframe's revolutionary AI has been quietly powering the global financial system. Sources say even central banks are dependent on their technology. Central banks? Emma whispered. Among others, I nodded. That little tech company you dismissed? It's the backbone of modern finance. Dad was staring at his investment portfolio app. Pi returns this year were generated by my AI, I confirmed. Every trade, every analysis, every profit, all powered by the daughter you thought needed financial advice. My watch buzzed with another milestone alert. The holographic displays pulsed with new numbers. 30 billion market cap, my CFO reported. The fastest ascent in market history. Emma's designer purse slipped from her lap. 30 billion, in 2 hours? The market is finally seeing what I built, I said, reviewing more expansion plans. While you were accumulating status symbols, I was accumulating something more valuable, real innovation. The office door opened again as my quantum computing team arrived. The next generation AI is ready for deployment, my chief scientist announced. Mom's eyes widened. Next generation? But this one is already. Just the beginning, I cut in. Today's success is built on last year's technology. Wait until they see what we've really created. Emma was frantically texting her firm's executives. Our entire trading strategy, our future plans, all depend on my technology, I finished. Which reminds me, your fund's license is up for renewal next month. Given today's valuation, expect a significant price adjustment. The color hadn't returned to her face. Price adjustment? Success isn't cheap, I smiled slightly. Though I'm sure your record quarters can handle it. My phone lit up with another urgent alert. The hologram shifted to show global market reactions. The European exchanges are opening early for us, my CFO reported. Unprecedented in market history. Europe's waiting? Dad breathed. The whole world is waiting, I corrected him. While you were focused on Emma's local success, I was building global revolution. The quantum team began setting up their equipment, transforming the office into a command center. Emma watched as her world of traditional finance was dwarfed by real innovation. All those times, she said quietly, when you wouldn't join our investment discussions. I was busy inventing the future of investment, I nodded. Rather than just following old models. My watch chimed again. Another market surge. 35 billion, my CFO announced. Still climbing. The next morning my AI assistant reported, Ms. Chen, your sister has been at her fund's office since 4 a.m., studying Mindframe's technology documentation. I pulled up the surveillance feed, watching Emma hunched over displays showing my company's AI architecture. Her designer suit was wrinkled, her perfectly styled hair disheveled from hours of actual learning. Your mother has left 42 messages, the AI continued. And your father's investment manager is desperately requesting access to our advanced trading modules. Predictable, I murmured, watching our stock continue its historic rise. Now that they realize whose technology actually drives their success. The holographic display showed Emma attempting to understand our AI systems. Main screen, I commanded. The scene expanded. Emma, exhausted but focused, working through technical documentation that made her hedge fund experience look like child's play. Her face showed frustration, awe, and something new, genuine respect. Your parents are in the lobby, my AI reported. I surveyed my command center, where hundreds of engineers worked on technology that made traditional finance obsolete. Send them up. Time to complete their education. They entered moments later, stopping short at the sight of endless screens showing global financial data, AI systems processing trillions in real-time transactions. Sarah, Mom started, then fell silent as she saw the scale of my operation. Different from Emma's trading floor, isn't it? I asked, watching our market cap tick past 40 billion. Dad stared at the glowing screens. All this time while we were praising Emma's small wins? I cut in. I built the system that made them possible. My phone buzzed. The screens shifted. Another quantum leap, I said. Our AI just went beyond what old systems can understand. Quantum, Mom whispered. This is the future of finance, I explained. Emma traded yesterday. I built tomorrow. The displays showed Emma still struggling with basics. She's persistent, I admitted. But she's far behind. Dad stepped closer. Sarah, about how we treated you. It showed me what mattered to you, I said. Looks over skill. Noise over substance. My AI spoke. The global summit is ready for your keynote. I stood. Family, watch closely. This is what real innovation looks like. The screens shifted into a worldwide broadcast. Leaders appeared in sharp holograms. Welcome, I began, to the future of finance. A future built on transformation, not imitation. Emma appeared exhausted. This is beyond us.